Core Physio and Pilates video series. I'm Lee and this is Liz. And today we're going to be going through a series of exercises with the spiky ball, a great way to get into any tight muscles of the body. The first exercise we're going to start with is a muscle deep inside your bottom called your piriformis. So I'll get Liz to lie on her back and place this spiky ball into the center of your bottom, underneath one of your cheeks. Good. Try and let everything relax nice and heavy onto that ball. Then take the knee that your ball is under and relax it out to the side. What Liz will be feeling is potentially some tightness, maybe even some pain, and that means the muscle is tight and needs release. So let the knee fall out to the side as far as it will go, Liz. Does that feel okay? Mm-hmm. Once you relax it out to the side, then I'm going to get you to slide the leg along the mat all the way down. That's really going to open up the hip and let that muscle get nice and released. And keep the knee turned out as you bend the knee back in. And then bring the knee back into the center. We'll do that again on this side. So trying to relax everything else, really letting that leg fall out to the side and then extending it, straightening it. Keep it turned out as she comes back in and bring the knee back in. So you can do that about 10 times on each side. You can move the ball to slightly different positions if you feel as though you're not getting the exact spot. There's no right or wrong in terms of where you put the ball. You will feel where the tightest spots are. To get into the rest of the muscles of the glutes and hips, which are really great to release, they can often really impact your lower back pain. You can have 1 or 2 balls underneath the glutes, and then with your pelvis, I want you to rock it from side to side, almost like she's a belly dancer. And there's no right or wrong movement here. You're just going to feel those muscles loosening. Can you feel some tight spots, Liz? So you can even do like a figure of with her pelvis, or just really just let that pelvis move, try and relax, not use too much energy. And that's really going to get into all those tight muscles of her glutes. Okay, that's great. The next exercise we're going to focus on is going to be her feet. So I'm going to get Liz to stand up. So we're going to do that now. Yeah. And we're going to put the ball onto the mat or onto the floor. Preferably no socks for this exercise. So Liz is going to place her left foot onto the ball and start by just pressing down and then rolling the foot forwards and backwards, trying to get all those tight spots feeling awake. This will most likely be quite uncomfortable. Try and make sure that you really get into the arch all the way to the middle of the foot. Is that feeling okay? Mm-hmm. Try and get all the way to the heel. The rule with this exercise is that the more painful it is, the more it means you probably need to do it. So at least a minute to a minute and a half, or even 5 minutes on each foot. You really want to press a lot of your body weight down onto that foot. You can do it sitting down on the couch. Standing is obviously preferable. Just make sure if your balance is not great, you're holding onto something to keep your balance supported. And you'll really feel when you change legs that your whole foot and leg feels a lot lighter. So that really will help relax the toes and get into the arch and the plantar fascia underneath your foot. Lovely. Now we're going to work on your upper back and the tight muscles through the upper back and shoulders. Now we're going to use the spiky ball to release a lot of the tight muscles in your upper back and shoulders and neck. So placing the ball onto the wall and then leaning back into it so your upper traps, the muscles of the upper shoulder, can press into it. So once you found a spot, once again, you can move around to find a sore spot. And once you've found it, you need to pause. So it might take a little bit of moving around to find that sore spot. You can also take the arm of the side that you're stretching and bring it across to open up that shoulder blade and get more into the deep muscles of the rotator cuff and neck. So finding that spot and holding it for as long as you've got time for. Even a few minutes will help rather than avoiding it completely. You can bring the arm down and you can even do some of the muscles in the neck, so bringing the ball a little higher up and pressing it. And you can gently look from side to side or gently looking up and down. It's a little bit more uncomfortable on the neck, so just be safe and do it for as long as you can control. So that's how to release the upper back with the spiky ball. Okay, so now we're going to go through the spiky ball exercise against the wall for the glutes. If you haven't got time to lie down and do it at home, you can do it standing up on any surface. So taking the ball and placing it on the wall and then resting your glute or your hip onto the ball. So I really want you to find a spot by pressing in, and you might want to rotate your body sideways, or once again that belly dancing action where you just move the pelvis and find a sore spot. So let's find a spot, Liz, and hold it. Don't just roll over the sore spots. I need you to hold the spot, which feels uncomfortable, and try and let it release. So the more you kind of give pressure into that ball, the more it will release that muscle. Then you can, once again, start to remove again and find a different spot. So you can do the whole glute region just standing up. You can also turn more side on to face that way, and you get a little muscle on the side of the hip, which is called your TFL, which is another contributing factor to a lot of hip and back pain. So once again, once you've found that spot, hold it and breathe. Thank you.